Well, hello there, and I'm James Kelly, and welcome to the brand new Scott Goes Pop channel on YouTube, and welcome also to my fridge. So it's the 1st of December now, it's after midnight, so it is officially the month of the election. And I've been thinking, with this whole weirdness of the Christmas election, what could I do? What could I do in place of an advent calendar for loyal Scott Goes Pop readers? And I thought, well, what I could do is make a set of low-budget videos about opinion polls in the run-up to the election. So that's what I'm going to do. And with it being with it being the weekend, there's a whole batch of opinion polls tonight, GB-wide opinion polls. And well, there's no sort of clear trend, but there is maybe a slight trend in one direction, so let's dive in and see what they say.
So the evening started with a burst of excitement because there was a poll from BMG which showed a 6% Conservative lead, which was a sharp drop of 7 points on the 13-point Tory lead from a week ago. And so a 6-point lead, that would put us into, well, close to hung parliament territory. It would be on the fringes. It's not clear whether that would result in a hung parliament or in a Conservative majority, but it certainly raised hopes among Labour supporters that we might be onto something with the extent of that trend. But really, if you look a bit more closely, probably we would have realised that it's not quite what it seems, because that's really a reversion to the mean. It's quite close actually to polling numbers that BMG had produced earlier in the campaign. And so perhaps we should have realised that there wasn't necessarily going to be the same trend from other firms, and so it proved, because up next was ComRes, or Savanta ComRes they now seem to be called. They showed a 10-point lead, which is an increase in the Conservative lead from 7 points last time. And that's actually a pretty poor result for Labour with a ComRes poll, because ComRes have been one of the more Labour-friendly pollsters during this election so far, and have sometimes showed single-digit leads. So 10 points is not actually that great, and doesn't lend any weight to the theory that the Conservative lead is coming down. However, there were more polls to come this evening, and the next one was from Opinium, and it's very difficult to know what to make of this, because it does show a reasonably significant drop in the Conservative lead, but it still leaves the Tories 15% ahead of Labour, which would obviously produce under the first past the post system, it would produce a massive Conservative majority. So, I mean, do you look at that in a glass half full sort of way, or a glass half empty? I suppose you could say it's a positive trend for Labour, and if you assume that Opinium just have a sort of Tory-friendly methodology, the trend is maybe what matters, and that other firms might show Labour coming back into the race. But certainly if Opinium are bang on right, obviously it would be a lost cause for Labour. But the next poll was from Delta Poll, and that had a lower Conservative lead, slightly lower than Opinium, of 13%, but unfortunately the trend was not in Labour's favour in this one. It's basically a steady position. Conservatives are up 2, but Labour are also up 2, so it's effectively no change. So that doesn't corroborate the pro-Labour trend that we saw with BMG and to some extent with Opinion. But just when we might have started to give up all hope of a hung parliament, finally we got a YouGov poll which showed the Conservative lead dropping from 11 points to 9, which seems to be the lowest Conservative lead in the YouGov poll for a very long time. And so in combination with the BMG poll and with the Opinion poll, the majority of polls this evening do show a drop in the Conservative lead. Where that takes us to, obviously there's a difference of opinion about that. If we assume perhaps the YouGov poll is somewhere in the middle, so that might be, just hypothetically, that might be the most accurate, then we wouldn't be in hung parliament territory, but we'd be getting closer to it. The problem, of course, is that this election is already underway. People are already voting by post. Votes have already been cast. So although the gap can still narrow, obviously the opportunity for that to happen will become progressively lower the closer we get to polling day as more votes come in. Nevertheless, I would say that what we've seen tonight does just about keep hope alive that we might avoid a Tory majority.
Well, that's it for now, but if you have the discernment to value substance over production values, then please do subscribe to my channel because there'll be more to come. See you later!